Guys and dolls. Somebody called me baldy. Yeah, they did. Says I wear a hat because I'm bald. No, on a comment, and something. I can't even remember where it was. I think it was TikTok. So I just bought this wig. Thought it looks alright, doesn't it? Looks real, doesn't it? Wee bit. How you doing, Foxy lad? How you doing, mate? Just let you all get in. Racking Ball 94. Looking good. Cheers, mate. I'm well, Connor. Yes, wee bit bunk evening. Denise, hiya. Freedom Dad, hiya, Denise. Dan, good to see you, mate. California checking in. Loyal as always. Good evening, Sarah. Good evening, Samantha Henry. Time to rise. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Sweet cheeks. Good evening, folks. Good evening, sweet cheeks. Hope you're all good. Right to be right. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Mr. Nuts Go Go. Hiya, mate. Anne-Marie, good to see you. Always good to see you. An old school. One of my old followers from a long time ago. One of my first ever subscriptions. Thomas McGuire, good mate, all good here. Just nice chilled out day. Been pissing down. Anybody in Northern Ireland knows it's been pissing down all day, you know what I mean? So, yeah. All right, my man, hope you're well. Iron Lady, thanks for the... thanks for the thumbnail. Yeah, I was going to see if you noticed it. So, Freedom Dad Nigel is weak sauce, LOL. He is very weak sauce. No problem, Mr. Nuts. McBurnham, man, good to see you, mate. How you doing? Any photons today? Quiet day, too rainy in it. The old rain keeps the audits away, doesn't it? All the Palestinians will be going out protesting every time it downpours because they know we won't get wet. All right, Ryan Gray, how you doing, mate? All's good, mate? Yep, all's good. It says I've only got one person on here. Surprised the dogs didn't bark. And the fucking dog's in the garden. I was bored to sort him. Why is that? They've suspended a councillor for attending a protest. Well, there you go. Bad councillor, eh? Going out and protesting for his children. Bad man. Space Cadet, good evening, Freedom Dad and team. Just chilling out tonight, guys. Chilled out day. This is like the one day I haven't done nothing. Nothing, just chilled out. Scooby, Foxy lad. You don't need to do the Waltons. You can just say hello, everybody, Foxy lad. Guy Belfast. I don't mean when we first come on, you can do what you want, but it says I've only got 4 people watching. That doesn't make any sense. 24 thumbs up and only 4 people watching. Wee Lucky's getting big. Fills all her teeth. He's got loads of teeth. Evening number 55. Top Cat. Cheers, mate. Tom, 7th evening, folks. Anne-Marie, for anyone interested. Peter Lynch inquest on Monday, 8th September. Doncaster. Alright, gets a good bit of information, Anne-Marie. 34 now, it says. 34. It's corrected itself. restart the live. 14 watching the corner of my screen. I got 34 on here, guys. All good. All good. You know. All good. So yeah, we'll just have a wee chit chat. I don't know if you've seen the guy at the football game, Chelsea and Fulham, and there's a video going about saying that he was going to be it could have been a mass shooting, you know, and I think it's a lot of nonsense. Like, I do believe it's a lot of nonsense, guys. Yeah, the number, yeah, it's very strange. Yeah, I'm noticing that there's something not right. There's something not right, but it is what it is. Nothing, you know what I mean? I'm not going to change. You know, fuck's sake, guys, you remember the days when you'd be lucky to get 100 on, 50 on, you know what I mean? Right back in the day, you know what I mean? What's happening, guys? Fred Jameson in the house. I can't say long, but wanted to jump in and say hi. Saw a banger protest vid. Well done, everyone, for turning out. Cheers. Whoa, dear. Yeah, big turnout, banger, and from the police, mate. Hi, Charlie. Yeah, so I believe, right, from what I'm hearing, it was a gamer. It was a gamer. The guy was a gamer, and he was on his way to some, I don't know, something where they play games or some sort of, maybe there was something on or something, you know what I mean? And that's, he was dressed up in the gear. Um, you know, and I probably have a good idea listening to the video that's going about. I think the guy knew who it was and he was just making content. Yeah, he had a helmet and I seen the bullets. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I've told a few people not to run with it because you run with that, you just look silly. You know what I mean? Say to live. Yeah, give everybody. If yeah, okay. If you're in the live because YouTube's messing about, it says there's only 19. I know there's more than 19 years in here, and so if you can hit the thumbs up each is, that'll give me an idea, or sort of idea. You know what I mean? Greenwich migrant rifle in Epping Hotel. See British Stand. Yes, somebody said to me that I was on British Stand. You know what I mean? So I'll get a wee look at it later. Yeah, say to live, everyone give a thumbs up. Thank you. 56, 62. There you go. It's just, you know what I mean? That's mental. Need to keep an eye on that. That was a good turnout last night in Bangor. It was indeed, Tracy. Be vigilant. Now the football season has begun. Maybe because sooner or later a stadium will be attacked. Well, I don't. I have put a post out saying what I think about it being a gamer. You know what I mean? And the helmet and all that. I don't know. Maybe they dress up as whatever they're gaming. You know, I don't. I wouldn't put it. Freddie would know. What's your opinion, Freddie? Gamer or mass shooter? You know what I mean? And the ironic thing is, whenever the Manchester bomb happened, that guy had a backpack on his back that he could barely carry. He must have looked out of place, and nobody batted an eyelid. And I do believe there was a reason why nobody batted an eyelid, for want of offending. And that's what I think. That's where they were at that time in England. I'm not saying they are now, but there was this fear of pulling somebody and going, "Hey, what's in your backpack? Oh, is it because I'm a Muslim or is it because I'm a foreigner?" So that was a big problem, I think, at that time. Whereas now we see, straight away any threat at all, they're right on top of it. And it could also be that there is a possible threat, you know what I mean? Like you're saying there could be a possible threat on our stadiums, you know what I mean? Just like our schools, maybe they know whoever the Islamists, whoever it is, will change tact because they're all concentrating on our schools. They've said, "Oh, we're going to hit your schools," and everybody's concentrating on schools, and then they hit something else. That would be the tactics of ISIS, Al Qaeda. That was the tactics you've seen with 9/11 and the way they worked, and 7/7 bombings in London. So they don't just randomly do something. Yes, they do. They have lone wolves, but when they're up as a unit or a sleeper cell, whatever you want to call it, it will be tactical and it will be impressive. As far as an event that will happen. I do believe it won't be just one random thing or two. I think it's going to be something that's coordinated, and it's going to be one of them ones that'll be in the same league as 9/11, 7/7, and October the 7th. That's my opinion. Just entertainment and educational purposes only. What I see as a guy logically looking at life, and yeah, that's what I believe, guys. So. Did you see AY and the guys on the post in Canary Wharf? No, I haven't seen it, mate. Window Man sure did. Scooby sure did. Epping Pakistani on anti-immigration page. Rain equals liquid sunshine. Could be airsoft. He was going to as well. There you go. Yeah, airsoft. That could be a possibility. Hello, Alan. Thanks for coming in. Vixen, thanks for coming in. CJ Audits, good to see you, brother. Window Man, Fred. So hit the like button. Yes, time to rise. I don't think the lightning process are any good. We're not going to down that road. We'll talk about that in a wee bit. Oh, it's very, very thingy topic. So it is, guys. The one guy did well until he tried to get out. Muslims praying in kids' playgrounds now. Well, they've got to pray somewhere. You know what I mean, guys? That's the reality of it. Like, once they're here, you can't stop them praying. John Adair, all right, mate. Good to see you. Love to see you in London on the 13th. I would think you would do a good live broadcast. Good luck. You're a voice for the Ulster people. Thank you so much, mate. And I have to say, much respect to you, mate, for coming on, throwing that wee comment down there. Education, education, education. What do they teach our children? Yeah, they teach our children left ideologies, you know what I mean? All right, there a wee bit. Yep. Iron Lady CJD, like our thumbnail. Roland Damar, you see this video, I know. Yeah, it was TransLink. Yeah, I know a wee bit about it. Like, I have to be careful what I say, but you know what I mean? It's ongoing and all that, allegedly. You've got men, women, and children going to these stadiums. The police won't stop them. Nobody. Yep, you're right, mate. Nobody. Did you watch any Beaven Full Thought? Not yet, no, mate. No. I've just been relaxing, trying to let the brain settle, and it's been hard work. It really has. Like, I have to say, like, I'm not good sitting still. I'm not good not doing anything. I was pissing down, and I don't have the right stuff for taking my dogs a walk right now in the pissing rain. All right, big bass boom, big up. Yes, I agree, Kenneth. Top Cat, good to see you. I will watch that, Top Cat, I will. Big bass boom, busy day. Always enjoy your videos, Freedom Dad. Thank you, Aidan. Makatami. Window Man, the moral of the story is if you see a Muslim struggling with a 50, do not lend a hand. Well, yeah. But yeah, it's just interesting how the police handled that day, and it'll be interesting to find out who it was. I think it'll be, we'll have a smile on our face if it is just a gamer or somebody going to soft play. You know what I mean? And it just shows you how on edge the police are, and then you got to ask yourself what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? So yeah. Ravendark School in England got marked down for being too white. Well, we could throw the opposite out there if we really wanted to. And at the end of the day, it's the same. They always go on. They always picking that. When people go, oh, my school, there's hardly any white people in any white kids in my school anymore. It's predominantly foreigners. Then you're going to get these guys going, oh, well, this school's too white. You know what I mean? When has it been okay, guys, to say in a white Christian country that a school's too white? You know what I mean? And even saying that is racist. You know what I mean? Us to say, oh, that school, there's too many foreigners in that school, whatever colour, whatever, let's just say we pick on colour for this because they're picking on colour, then we would be held responsible for hate crime or hate speech or some sort of madness, you know what I mean? For a genuine concern of an area that was predominantly white, dominantly Christian all your life, and then all of a sudden it changes and you're shocked by that. You know, you go away for a few years and you come back and you're shocked, you know, and that's all it is. It's just human instinct, you know what I mean? Yeah. Always enjoy your videos, Freedom Dad. Thank you. Moral of the story, got that, got that. Love the thumbnail, thank you, CJ. Little England there, Belfast Mafia High. Laughed when I saw the female Irish Palestine supporter punched by the police in Germany. Tut, 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 come on now. They just apprehend a guy that looks like Jackie Khan, decked out in black with a vest, helmet, maybe balaclava, armed with spur mags outside a football stadium. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, mate. I think there's a rumour going about that he might be a gamer or he might be soft. Somebody said here, you know what I mean? You're hearing it first in Freedom Dad's channel. I'm fucking hearing it first in Freedom Dad's channel, you know what I mean? So, yeah, there you go. Like I say, I have said to people not to be running with it right now just till we get the facts. There's no point. I don't want any Patriots throwing out misinformation, you know what I mean? You know, and then that, you know, that getting brought up one day. Well, this is, you said this and it was fake. You said that and it was false. And you said this, because that's the kind of thing the left will do. They'll pick everything, you know what I mean? You should get a dry robe coat similar to that one I got up chimney Thursday night. It's got mine for really dogs, for dog walks and dog raincoats. Yeah, I've got waterproofs, so I have. Just not with me. PSNI during their powers sent me the footage he put together at the journalist's so-called vigil video out at 8:30 on my channel tonight. It's only 10 minutes. There you go, guys. Yeah, I'll be watching that, man. You know what I mean? No miss any of your videos. The school is too white sounds like something hymns useless would say. Yeah, yeah. Geez, oh, you're right there. Well, funny you say that, Mickey Ocean. You know, if you ever get a couple of minutes, Google facial recognition, and then just put in does facial recognition pick up black faces or brown faces, whatever way you want to say it, if you whatever political correct way you want to say it, you know what I mean? Google it. You're in for a shock, you know what I mean? You're in for a shock, you know what I mean? I'll spoil it for you. It doesn't do it very well, if it does it at all. And I think they struggle with females of a different origin to us. Let's just say, and basically, in a nutshell, facial recognition was built for white people, and that's it in a nutshell. And that's what I see from it. You know, when you say to me, we're bringing out facial recognition to protect the citizens and to whatever reason, and then you find out that it's only for yourselves. Yeah, you feel a wee bit shit, so you do, like. So we will be looking into it a bit more and find out what's going on and how did this slip through and why are we only finding this out now. And, you know, I think we found it out because of the carnival. Yeah, this is how we found it out. Because of the Notting Carnival. Because they can't get any suspects for anything. That's what they're saying. You know, the facial recognition can't identify individuals, you know. And crazy. Absolutely. I had to Google it. I thought this was just somebody being at it, you know what I mean? You know, facial recognition. They go on about it, how amazing it is and how it works and how they measure your eyes, your nose, and your cheeks and your ears and your mouth, and they put it all together and bang, they've got you. And like that, an instant, probably quicker than that, you know. And you think, that's impressive. Well, keep the crime down in London and places, you know what I mean? And then you find out it's only for white people. Come on, really? You know. So yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't pick up black people at all, of course not, but apparently it struggles with it, and that's not good enough, you know what I mean? If it doesn't struggle with us, you know, white one side, because they're always talking about this racism thing and equality, and, you know, you see every advert there's a black person in it, and everywhere now there's like you've got a black Snow White, and you know, there's going to be a black Robin Hood soon and a black Billy the Kid, you know what I mean? But before you know it, and that's just the madness of equality and diversity being pushed upon every part of our life and society. And, you know, it is overpowering, it is too much, you're like, come on, you know what I mean? Nobody was ever racist, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, you're just bombarded. And, you know, the facts of it is, guys, it's not proportionate. You know, it's not proportionate. You know, it's not proportionate with blacks and whites in the country. You know what I mean? And that means if there's the same amount or more coloured people on TV than there is white people in adverts and in modelling and in every walk of life that we see on our tallies, then that's unfair to the people who are in the majority, because it should be equal across the board. And that's been a problem for the last, I'd say, 10 years. We've been getting worse and worse as far as the madness of diversity. And people are suffering, you know what I mean? There's people going for jobs that are better qualified, and the job's getting given to somebody else because of the colour of their skin or because of their religion, because they've got to hire a diversity. They've got to be a diversity business, and if they don't, they get all sorts of shit, you know? And it's just crazy, absolutely crazy, you know? I don't think was an airsoft. Oh, I will to myself. I have over 100 G's for that. I didn't need to scan. Who's that? Who's that? Huh? Just gonna wee look, guys. I'm not reading everyone out. B Recon. Okay, sorry, I had to read it out first, just in case, mate. I should have checked your name. I would have knew it was all right. Oh, for fuck's sake, Freedom Dad, that's a serious case of PC gymnastics. They keep the liberals from losing their shit. In other words, AI thinks they all look the same, allegedly. White people might need to dress up like, okay, I'm not going to say it, just in case, you know what I mean? I know it's just like, and it's not, you're having a laugh, it's party, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to miss that one. If they bring out facial recognition, I'll start wearing hijab. Okay, fair enough. The people of Northern Ireland need to wake up. The dark nights are coming in soon. What are you doing in? How did you get in, mister? Hey, you stay there, son, stay there. You're just a wee bit wet from the grass. Come on, it's just, his wee feet are cold. You sound like the Walking Dead. Crazy boy. Where is safer, north of Ireland or the mainland? 110% north of Ireland, without a doubt. So at the minute, you know what I mean. At the minute, it is such a small country, and you know, like I say, we have got a good police force. We've had a police force, maybe not these ones, but the experience from the top, what's been handed down from the RUC going into the PSNI is experience, and I'd like to think they carry that experience on. So, you know, it's pretty much okay, guys. Is my name John? Who do you think I am, John? My question has been done his homework about the agreement between the Irish and English in 1926 yet? No, mate, not 1926. You know, it's too much. It's too much for me. I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? Just dealing with what's going on in front of me. I'm just looking ahead. You know, too much shit to look back at there. You know what I mean? It's mental. It's absolutely mental. It's a pug. 14. Come 14. Boy, come here, son. Boy. Steph. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here, my boy. Come here. My boy. He's a big lump. He's camera shy. Oh, yeah, you're camera shy. He's an old boy. He's an old boy. He's going a bit mad as well, like. I rub that belly. Okay, let me go back here. Dirty bum. I'm going to cover that in a wee minute, mate. What's been going on in the Patriot world. Do you want to put him out there? Oh. Right. Of your mum. You guys are later. This is Tulip, for anybody that doesn't know who Tulip is. That's his granddaughter. Right, yeah, yes you are. Yes you are, daddy's girl, aren't you? Yes you are, your daddy's girl. Yeah, lapdog. but a good wee guard dog. Good hearing, good eyes. Thank you, Bradford Loyal. Always good to see you, mate. CJ, come on now. That's terrible. Good information. Good information. The cop that runs the cops now was responsible for the Kincora cover-up about steak knife. Kinova cover-up. Sorry, mixed up there. The cops are corrupt, always were. Anti-Catholic, never work. I know Space Cadet. Looks like you, Freedom Dad. Thank you, Liverpool. That's really nice. Cheers, mate. Cheers, bro. Right, whoa. Just seen the weather forecast. Summer is over, I know, guys. Who's that, mate? Did you not see anybody coming in there? Who? Hey, boy. Put him out. Who is it? Do you know who it is? Oh, that's alright. Chill up. Come here. The Walking Dead noises, yeah, mate. Yeah. Forecast, yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yep. Thanks, Freedom Dad. I seen Stevie put on a post and it sounds like Pinky's calling him a tout or something. No, it's not like that, guys. I'll explain it in a minute. King Charles is at the door. Whoa, boy. See, he's blind as a bat. I mean, he's blind. He's not. He can see it with one eye and he can't hear a thing. You should start doing live on TikTok and do boxes where people can join in live, mate. I can do that here. I am going to do it. I know I keep saying it. Right, I am going to get the laptop out tomorrow and mess about with StreamYard. So I am. And yeah, because I was actually thinking that today, you know what I mean? What do you want, you know? Sorry having a wee chat and all that, but unless there's like loads of shit happening, then you know, I end up just rambling a lot of nonsense and it can drive a lot of people nuts, to be honest with you. CJ's one of them, you know, from what he told me today. But I don't take it personal, you know what I mean? Because I know what I'm like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, all criticism is, you know, I've so much respect for any man who has the balls, the audacity, or just whatever, the respect to criticize a man, to better the man, you know what I mean? And yeah, I've always been like that, and I appreciate CJ is a very good man, a very honest man, very to the point man, and you don't get many men like that, guys, you know what I mean? And I can imagine he's not everybody's cup of tea, you know, I'm talking about as a personal guy. I can imagine he's not everybody's cup of tea, you know what I mean? And I don't think he would ever apologise or care about that. You know, he's one of them ones. So, yeah, it is what it is. I think he's one of them guys like myself who doesn't walk up to somebody and goes, I hope he likes me. You know, and we don't think like that. When we go up, come on you, that's Tulip, you're not blind and deaf. We go up to people and I say to myself, I hope I like this person, you know what I mean? Because not everybody that's interesting or you think is who they are is likable, you know what I mean? So it's one of them ones, guys. Just a wee thing in life, social policy in my head. So yeah, I'm going to talk about Patriots in Northern Ireland right now. Sorry, Spain. Nice one. Yeah, CJ making us all wait for Nolan. Yeah, just right. You know what I mean? It's a premiere. You know what I mean? It's not that does not come along. You got from a content creator's point of view, right? And a citizen journalist, or he's an auditor, and nobody still does his wee citizen journalist. But you got to understand, something like that doesn't come along every day. You know, it doesn't. You know what I mean? That does not. You know, that fucking. And he done a wee bit of work to get that. It didn't just fall in his lap. You know what I mean? He done a wee bit of graft to get that, and fair play to him. It paid off. You know. And that's what it's all about, chasing the story, chasing the lead. And it is hard work. And you got to be on your toes. You got to move quick sometimes. And he did. And he got the result. And it's worth waiting for. That's all I'm going to say. And if it was me, I'd do the same. And I know it's, you're like, but, you know, it's just one of them ones, you know what I mean? Um, it's like, if it's a Northern Ireland thing as well, not everybody in England and Scotland's going to get this. Yeah, 2 seconds. To your son. Not everybody in England and all that will get this. This is like, this is like a Piers Morgan of Northern Ireland. You know what I mean? Well, as I hate saying that, like, but in his head, he thinks that. You know what I mean? And he calls himself the biggest show. You know what I mean? The biggest show in Northern Ireland. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's one of them ones, and he doesn't do the Protestant Unionist Loyalist community, you know, any benefit or any good at all, you know what I mean? And he's very quick to come down on the right wing of politics, and he blindly obeys what he's told to do. And we can see that, you know what I mean, instead of questioning it. And there's other things that I'm not going to go into, you know what I mean? Personal things, you know what I mean, that I know of people that are close to me and stuff like that. And it's just the way it is. Northern Ireland's a very small place, you know what I mean? And we all know everybody. So yeah, guys, there has been a wee bit of a, not a rift, but, you know, a bit of a to-do. And so basically, it's Patriot stuff. And, you know, like I say, doesn't concern me. I'm not concerned. I've seen this happen before. Like, why it doesn't concern me, because it's not going to escalate. It's a storm in a teacup. And, you know, sometimes things need to get out, people off their chest. And when you're involved in social media and you're doing stuff like this, guys, you know, this is what we do, you know. And to a lot of people who don't do social media and don't put as much work into making videos and editing and getting content, wouldn't really understand that. But this is the way the Patriot world works, you know. We are open and honest, you know. We go to demos. I record them. You all go to listen to people that speak. You all watch videos of these people that these people put out, you know. So you're invested. You're invested. You are all invested. The people of Northern Ireland, the Patriots who follow these guys, are invested. So they wouldn't do it any other way. Yes, they should make up and all the rest of it. But the thing is, in Northern Ireland, we've been through a conflict, and we have what I would say is a lived experience with the police. You know what I mean? A lived experience where the police were never our friends. There was never any community with police. The police were always coming in with military, coming in with soldiers, you know what I mean? Coming in armored vehicles, SNAT squads. We had the SPG back in the day. And they were pretty brutal, hitting us with baton rounds and people getting hurt and killed and all the rest of it, you know what I mean? So, and yes, we were pretty brutal to them as well. But it was the rhetoric of the RUC and what people know and how we've grown up, you know? And, you know, there was a video where Stephen was talking to a policeman. Now, Stephen isn't, like, Stephen's a Patriot, and as far as I'm concerned, he's doing what he can for my daughter. But not everybody's perfect, and not everybody gets on. And Stephen made a mistake, whether it's a mistake or whatever anybody wants to call it. But I'm talking about the optics of the country and the optics of what we've been through. And something happened with his camera, and he was talking to a policeman, and the policeman wanted to talk to him privately. Stephen was agreeing to speak privately with him. And when other Patriots went up to film it, he asked them to back off. And this is part of his team, you know. And the team were like, what? We're your team. You don't talk to the police on your own. They could say anything. We're here to protect you, whatnot. And it isn't anything skullduggery. This is what I want to make sure they get across. There is no evidence at all of anything like that. It's just the way we are in Northern Ireland. You know, it's just people doing different things a different way and other people not understanding it. And other stuff, you know, like at the end of the day, you know, Stephen's put Pinky's name out, so I'm not going to play about here. You know, the video named Pinky, you know, I put 6-7 times in the video, and fair enough, you know what I mean? So, but like, Pinky has done a lot of work. He's a Patriot, and he's putting a lot of time and effort in. He's got good guys around him, TikTokers, girls, all working really hard to do what they can for my wee Lucky. There's no two ways about it. Get out of there. What's in there? No, you're not getting it. He's, you know, and that's what I see, you know. And Stephen's an amazing speaker, doing good videos, you know. He's relentless, and he's been doing this for a long time, you know, and no man can take that away from him. You know, you can't take this stuff away from anybody. So with that, that's who we've got. You know what I mean? Look at different guys, and there's a lot of other wee silly things at play. You know what I mean? But the main thing is you know, the problem that a lot of people seen was whenever Stephen Nolan started shouting about people on the Nolan show, you know, Stephen broke contact with Pinky, and I think it was a bit hard for everybody watching because they were so close, and then all of a sudden Pinky was under the spotlight, and Stephen didn't even call or phone and all that. So that's what it is, and it is difficult because everybody's trying to, you know, do their own thing and do their own content and not follow each other. But at the end of the day, we are a family. And like I say, I've thought long and hard about it and spoke to everybody involved, you know what I mean? And left messages at least and comments and stuff like that, you know. And I'm available. Everybody knows Freedom Dad's available, and Freedom Dad's everybody's friend in the Patriot world, as long as you're doing the right thing for my daughter. Simple as that, you know what I mean? I'll see it straight away if you're not. And I would call it out. I would call it out, but that's not the case here. And this is what happens in England, right? So this is the difference between Northern Ireland. We're a small group. We're very small, 6 counties. There's not a lot here. There's not a lot of Patriots. There's not a lot of YouTubers and TikToks. Everybody knows everybody. And you are going to have fallouts. You're going to have different opinions. You're going to have different egos, and there's going to be clashes. But the difference between Northern Ireland and England is that's it. It's out there, and it's going to, they will sort it out. You know, there's no, this is bigger than them. They know that. It's bigger than anything that we know. And that's the bottom line. And whether it's letting off steam, getting stuff out in the open, getting things dusted and sorted and moving on, whatever needs to be done will be done. And the other thing I want to say is about people who were saying about the papers and the left. You know, this is real life. We don't care about the papers. We don't care if the papers pick it up and say, oh, the Patriots are falling out and bringing this up and bringing that up or whatever. We don't care. We are blinkered to all that. We don't care about the left. You know, you understand? We don't care about the left. You see, the thing about Northern Ireland and Patriots is we're passionate. These men have got passion like you've never seen before. Please believe me, I know them personally. You know, these boys are from East Belfast. They live around the corner from each other. They're so passionate. It's unbelievable. And when you've got passion like that, you're going to have emotions running very, very high. And that's, listen, nobody can fault that, guys. You cannot fault that, okay? And as far as the left are concerned, the far left or anybody else that wants to come in and have a dig and talk about Patriots falling out, the reason why they don't fall out is because they've got nothing to lose. They've got nothing to lose. They're there shouting about Gaza. They're there shouting about Hamas. They're shouting about dissidents and carrying on with the hatred that we've had for the last 60 years. They're just fucking zombies. That's what I see. Just zombies trying to carry on with something that should have been buried a long time ago. Whereas on our side, we're fighting for our lives. We're fighting for our lands. We're fighting for our children and our grandchildren. When people are working behind the scenes and people are doing videos and TikToks and standing up and giving speeches and organising rallies and standing out in the middle of roads, you do not understand the passion that these guys have got in their heart. And that's why the 2 guys we're talking about have both been arrested, you know. And, you know, it does come down to, you know, a closeness of people being together, and you know, just maybe it's too much for some people, you know. Maybe like I've had people that's distanced themselves when everything came out about me, and they were like, oh, you know, it's in what the papers are saying about him. Then a couple of wee people shit down behind my back. Oh, I put people off, you know what I mean? You know, that's life. But the main thing is, I don't hold a grudge. These people are coming back into my life, so as if nothing happened, you know. And that's the way we are. This is bigger than falling out. This is bigger than having a spat on Facebook. This is bigger than doing YouTubes and TikToks. This is huge, you know. And the thing is, it's not new. This has happened in England. I'm going to tell you this now, and this is the finish of it. When this happened in England, it brought YouTubers and TikTokers down. People turned against, and it brought people down. It brought good men down, you know what I mean? Now, each man has to stand on his own. And as we go forward, each man will be judged by the people around him and what he does, you know. Nobody else needs to do anything, you know. Freedom Dad, you know, Stevie Baker, Pinky, CJ Audits, you know what I mean? You know, anybody, Lindsay Brown, you know, all the guys that are involved, and Tony Mallon, you know, anybody that comes up and stands up and speaks and puts themselves out there to try and bring awareness to Northern Ireland about the damage and the dangers that could be coming. are putting their neck on the line, guys. And the bottom line is, like, you know, it's not easy. It's a lot of pressure. But the main thing is, we are Patriots. We will stay together. Nobody's getting pushed out. There's no division. There's no fractures. We are not going to be England. We are not going to let what happened in England with the Patriots, where they were silencing each other. The government didn't need to silence them. They were silencing each other. And we, as Patriots in Northern Ireland, totally get that. And we will not allow that to happen. I certainly won't allow it to happen. I'm the content creator. I'm the citizen journalist. I report on everything these guys are doing. I'll bring interviews. With any court cases, I'll be there, backing every single man up. So as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, everything will be all right. It's up to each individual to behave appropriately. Be loyal. That's an important one. If one of our guys are down, we stop to pick them up. We don't just keep walking on. And, you know, I know it's a bit harsh, you know what I mean? But that's the reality of what's happened. There's a lot of men involved in this that are very, very loyal. And when these loyal men see a disloyalty, it breaks their heart. And that's emotional, and it's not about hatred, you know what I mean? There's no, you know, this could have went any direction, but it hasn't, you know what I mean? Because it's, you know, we are Patriots, and we know that we don't want to ruin anything. And we are aware that there could be outside influences playing as well. And yeah, so that's been spoke about. But the main thing is, guys, I want everybody to be reassured, no matter what you see, no matter what you hear. And, you know, with the stuff that Pinky's doing, it's getting shouted out in GB News, and I'm sure another big channel, an American channel, you know, and, you know, all our stuff is going worldwide. You know, I mean, the Ballymena rants had over, I don't even, haven't even checked it. It was 140,000 views a couple of months ago. Stevie Baker's hitting 20,000, 40,000 views. Pinky's hitting that many views and building platforms that quick that the government are bring them down, one after the other. You know what I mean? I've never seen platforms grow so quick. And the reason why these platforms grow so quick is because of the work and the effort that these guys put in, and the team that they have around them. And my final point is, every man needs a team around him. You cannot do this on your own, okay? You cannot go out there and do this on your own. You've got to have teams around you. You've got to have people watching your back. You've got to have people watching over your back and watching your front and watching your sides and giving you advice. If something isn't right, then some people pick up on things that you don't pick up. You know what I mean? And it's important. I don't think one man on his own is going to do anything, you know, but at the end of the day, it's up to each individual, you know. Hey, boy, enough. Hey, enough. So, yeah, guys, that's it, you know, in a nutshell. Patriot stuff, normal behaviour, and passionate men with a lot of loyalty and a lot of love, and, you know, that's it. You can understand it. When I explain it like that, who cares what the media says? Who cares? I'd rather have passionate men like that, you know, than the left, the Walking Dead, you know what I mean? And that's the facts. You know, who would you want on your side? What side would you want to be on right now? And it is what it is, guys, you know. Hello, Vanda. Good to see you. Missed a lot of comments, guys. Does Pinky have a YouTube channel? Marie, I am not too sure. Just a TikTok right now, I think. I wish I had your confidence, Freedom. That I've seen more loyalist foods than Nolan has seen pop shirt buttons. I know, mate. I know. I think that's definitely a thing of the past now. Like, prods, unenlightened prods is a thing of the past. I've been on a laptop and can't find anything that's been hidden or blocked. Sorry, Paul, it's a mystery. I've got one like that. I had one like that. He's made a new name up now, like, but Pinocchio Pete. Fucking Pinocchio Pete. I don't know what. I can't find it anywhere. It's very strange, like. James Carl, I'm on my children's and my grandchildren's side. Yep. Yeah, put Lindsay's YouTube channel up, guys. So, any other questions? Evening, Stuart. Well, I've hit the like button. Don't blame me, folks. What are you two up to? What are you two up to? Loyalty breeds love. Freedom Dad, what about this chat? Fully... What chat? Sorry, mate. I can vaguely remember something from last night. Only joking, Freedom Dad. I missed the joke, mate. Sorry. Yes, Lindsay has been a great encouragement to me, I must say. That's good, Top Cat. Happy days. She is, you know, she knows her stuff. Hello, everyone. Jim Carl to me too, mate. Did the Working Class podcast get back to you, Freedom Dad? I think I've missed a call from them. You know what I mean? And I've given them a new number, so I've done it on one of my TikToks. Messaged them. I messaged you on phone on Messenger. Messaging on phone on Messenger. Right, okay, mate. I'll have a wee look. I've been on Messenger today. I'm surprised I missed it. Cheers, mate. No problem. Where's it ain't me? Are you watching It Ain't Me? Well, if you need to ask that question, I think you know the answer, CJ. You know what I mean? But yeah, who knows, mate? You know what I mean? We'll see. No, he's a 14-year-old pug. Yes, you're right, time to rise. We all need to stand together or we fall apart. Lauren are fucking shite, GJ. I haven't seen him in days. Feed him, Dad. My boy. Yeah, he's getting spoiled right now. Tulip's here as well. Is right, litigation. Is right. The Super Blues. Any ideas to expand the channel, Freedom Dad? Merch? No. No. I can get enough good doing without all that. Did you see the statue the Cup did last night? They looked like inbreeding was a sport in the West. I know. I don't even want to talk about that, them clowns. You know what I mean? Men have been called out. They have said masked men tried to storm a hotel in London but never named which hotel or released any footage. Shut up. Move. There's nothing in there. 2 biscuits. Fucking a biscuit. Bean, where in the East is Freedom Dad from? It's like you're asking about me. I'm right here. It's fucking, you know what I mean? See if anybody answers it. See if anybody's been paying attention, eh? They said shit about everyone they don't like. He's this and he is that. It's all shit. You're right, mate. Are you going to see Crocker getting knocked out? I don't have the time or the money. You know what I mean, guys? Lindsay is great. She from my neighbourhood. Good. Tracy, yes. I haven't spoke to her because I've changed phones, so I have, and you know she's still on the other messenger, and I'm sure I've sent her my new number. You know what I mean? So I'll need to do it again. I need to get the charger out, get it charged up. Once I dig it up out of the garden. I'm joking. You count the morons, I know that. Yep. Billy, hello mate, how you doing? Bradford Laurel Bean, he's from East Bradford. He's from the Falls Road. That's South Belfast. Well, West. Did you watch why last night when you left last night? I did, mate. I did indeed. When talking to people at Chimney Thursday, the new ones are Afghans. 15 got on the bus Friday. An older lady asked where they were from, and they said Afghanistan. Yeah, seems to be the common thread right now. Streaming live from the Falls. I was tempted. Kirsty Smith, how you doing? Good to see you. Brian Mack, heard you getting a shout out on Scottish stream today. It's not Scottish stream. Did I get a shout out in Scottish? I don't know. Scottish stream. I was on something today. British Patriot or British Stand. Somebody said to me I've been on British Stand, and I was on Asmongold because of British Lorderer. You know what I mean? So yeah, all good. Happy days, buddy, mate. Ed Matthews in Florida. It was in Falkirk. All right. See, I covered that hotel in Falkirk, so I did. I've got a video about that hotel. It's not great, like, you know what I mean, but it could have been better. But I was really early on. It was one of my first going out, you know what I mean, and reporting. And CJ, I'll read that one out, mate. All the haters watching from, I can't do your accent, I'm not going to try, I'll just fucking, you know, I'll look stupid. From behind their keyboards, hit the like button, clowns. There you go. Bit of CJ. Time to close the borders and lock down our country and put a stop to all this madness. Well said, James Cahill. Yeah, Craig Houston is very good. I'd be raccoon. I think you're right there, like. Galloway Raider. I wouldn't say that, like. I wouldn't say that just yet, mate. Infamous, maybe, aye. Sandy Row. So I joined the Orange Lodge in Sandy Row as a junior. John Rankin, British stand. It was just a wee bit of a banger. Okay, mate, no problem. There's a couple of people's asked us. It's worse down south. Yeah, Silver Fox is good. Yep, I keep forgetting to mention him. It's a kid, mate. David. Your dedication makes you a solid person. Freedom Dad, don't sell yourself short. No, I know that, mate. No, we're good. We're good. We're just rolling with it. We're rolling with it's you know, the people I'm meeting, friends we're making, you know, like CJ, jumping about with CJ is absolutely amazing. And I can imagine any one of you would be like, I'd be up for that, you know, a wee day out with CJ jumping about the town. So yeah, it is good, mate. It is good, guys. It's not like, it's not all hard work. It can be a bit hard work sometimes when things don't go right, because I am a perfectionist when it comes to my stuff. You know, everything needs to be perfect, you know what I mean? And there's so many videos I've taken down because of one wee glitch, you know what I mean? So that can be frustrating, you know, when you don't get the sound right or something doesn't go right, you know what I mean? And everything's lost. And then there's the ones where you're going somewhere and it's not on and you've wasted so much time, or you're going somewhere and you can't find it and you're walking about in circles for ages. You know, it is a lot of work and energy, getting everything, you know, lifts and all that sorted, and security, you know, sometimes at a moment's notice, you know what I mean? So yeah, it has its ups and downs, but the good thing is the people I meet, the people I'm around. Stevie Shivers, you know what I mean? Absolutely amazing guy, you know. Glenn, I've known Glenn for so long. Stevie, Pinky, you know what I mean? Richard, and everybody down in Bangor, everybody at the Chimney Corner, everybody in the town that I meet and bump into, everybody from the south, the east, the west. You know, Shankill, the Woodfield, and yeah, even up in Londonderry, yeah, even Scotland, you know what I mean? So a lot of love from a lot of different places and a lot of different types of people, and it's really nice. That's the good part of it, you know. So is Lady J in the house? Right, Lady J, you need to send me a message on Messenger, you know. I feel like Cilla Black, you know what I mean? Fucking dating thing she had, man, blind date. So yeah, send me a message in Messenger so I can pass your phone number on, okay? CJ, your fan club will be missing you. For sake, what? Whoa. Living rent free in their heads at the moment. I know. Shifty Sam, thank you. Yes, it was really nice. Thank you so much. Really nice. Yeah. That's what it's all about, you know what I mean? And getting, you know, meeting each other, and once it's difficult because I meet so many people, you know what I mean? It is difficult. Trying to remember everybody's names is definitely not happening for me. Like, faces and places has always been my game, you know. But You know, I'll never forget a face. But like, yeah, it's like one of them ones, you know, you do need to forgive me for forgetting names and all that, you know, because it is a lot. A lot of different demos, a lot of different places, meeting lots of different people. Good day out and funny as fuck. Put the content out, we will still watch it. Trust me, Freedom Dad. That's you sorted, Foxy lad. Honestly, see when everybody knows your business, Foxy lad, it's not a good day, be it, buddy. Not a good day. Oh, cheers, Foxy lad. Oh, Shifty. Shifty Sam. What's news? What's new? Oh, what's news? Give up records. Have to say you look younger without the cap. Oh, thank you. Oh, there's CJ's just dropped a video. I'm sure he'll catch it after my live. Just laugh at people. Good crack. Lady J, Messenger. Okay? Messenger. As soon as the live goes off, Messenger, because I can't find your message. You know, I don't know what name you're using. You know what I mean? And every time I turn my Messenger on, I have at least 20 to 30 messages, and I'm on Messenger maybe 20 or 30 times a day. You know what I mean? Yes, mate. What I need? What? Aye. Right, Tulip. Tulip, come here. Come here, baby. She never comes to me. She always thinks she's getting into trouble, like nightmare. I'm a better singer and dancer than Cilla Black. Well, I know that, mate. I don't need told that, like, you know what I mean? I know that. I'd look younger too if I went to a dentist. Yeah, man. DUP now warning reform or a threat to union. Oh, at last. Way! They've caught up. Well done, DUP. Well done. Hey. I thought that day would never come, you know what I mean? But we're getting closer. We're getting closer to independence. And an independent Northern Ireland. An independent Ulster. It's coming, guys. I think the DUP are scared to tell the unionists that vote for them. I do, like, you know what I mean? But it's want to be one of them ones, you know. Just seeing a classroom in England on the news, hardly any white kids. I'm glad my son went to a school in Donegal. Be back soon. Yes, he's got a premiere starting, so he has. So yeah, guys, if you want to jump on now, you can come back. You know what I mean? Maybe be here. It's not even an hour, so we're good. We're good. Good point. Be raccoon reformer a threat to their wallet? More like, did what I say to Sammy Wilson cats on? Yep, Nigel Farage isn't to be trusted. DUP leader Ramson urges caution over ACHR withdrawal after Nigel is not. Yeah. Emerald 90 was yes, exactly. Gotta go, stay safe. All right, litigation. Have a good night, mate. Whatever you're doing. So yeah, we'll get the laptop out. No, maybe won't. I fucking maybe won't. I'm fucking busy tomorrow. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll get this StreamYard sorted out once and for all. Unionist politicians are concerned that if the UK did not leave as one entity, the province would become a magnet for illegal migrants. Yeah. No, I'm good, mate. Thank you. Independent, have you run the numbers? Also, want to encourage the Republicans. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just saying, you know, I'm looking at England getting worse. Okay, I'm looking until fucking something drastic happens. You know, I can't see any way reform aren't going to be in. If reform get in, we're fucked. You know, and we'll have another 4 years of madness. You know what I mean? And broken promises and all the rest of it. And it's going to get really dirty and all of it. And I can see what's coming. And then we're going to be sitting over here going, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And it's just something that I like to talk about. I like to have every option on the table, and I also like to let the British government know that we have options on the table. And I think the DUP should be talking like Freedom Dan. You know, we shouldn't be bound down to these people all the time and taking everything that they throw at us. And what we're getting Euro spars. Why have we got Euro spars in Northern Ireland? Have you got any Euro spars in England or Scotland? I'd like to know. Now, you have spars, don't you? SPAR. It's like a co-op. It's like you're like Scotmid, you know what I mean, in Scotland. What these? I don't know what else he's made. Is it mace? Do you have maces? It's a bit like that. Spar, mace, same sort of thing. So we've got these spars over here that are called Euro spars. Now, it's handy when I come back from the south with euros, I can go in and spend them, but I shouldn't be able to spend euros in a British country. Right? It doesn't make any sense. I should be able to go to the post office and transfer them or put them in my bank account. You know, so tell me, have you got Euro spars anywhere in the mainland? They take euros, yeah, mate. If you've got euros, you can pay with your stuff in euros in Northern Ireland. Yeah. I know that, mate. I know. But this is just happening right on over. Nobody's fucking batting an eyelid. Euro spar. We're not in Europe. We got nothing to do with Europe. You know, and we want nothing to do with Europe. Yeah, I know, Lady J. They're everywhere. All over the north. And nobody's batting an eyelid apart from Freedom Dad. I'm not happy. Cheers, Galloway Reader. You could probably pay with potatoes in this bar these days. Well, maybe one day we'll be paying with potatoes again. Spar is Dutch, I believe. Probably been bought over by somebody, but I like. Tesco's takes euros, have done for years. Look, there you go, never knew that. I don't like them neither. Cheers, Top Cat. Thank you for that, mate, Bill Wilkins. Nothing happened, but the hole in the wall bank can give you euros. Tesco and Asda takes euros. Is this in Northern Ireland or is this in England as well, guys? So Greenwich, where are you based? How are you? I'm good, Ricky. Rick, we're all good. We Patriot community, all doing dinky do. Northern Ireland, Freedom Dad. Yeah, well, there you go. For fuck's sake. Yeah, it is what it is. You know what I mean? You're it scares me. You know what I mean? It scares me what I've seen in the last 20 years, and the human rights and the European laws scare me. They're not for us. They're not for us. You know, they're not for we traditional Ulster. You know, whether you're Protestant or Catholic, those laws do not suit us. You know, and it's causing lots of problems with remigration and getting people out of this country that don't deserve to be in this country or should be deported immediately because of some of these laws from Europe. We are having problems, and it's got worse since Brexit. Things have got worse since. It's like we've been punished for voting for Brexit, and yeah, hopeful person. The North voted to stay in Europe, as did the Scots. Well, you know, with hindsight, do you think they would vote to stay in Europe now, with the knowledge that we know and the destruction of England and Ireland? So the Belfast bank robbery was a load of bollocks? No, I don't think it was. Like, that was a retirement fund for the Provos, wasn't it? We're still not out of EU though, not properly. You're right. You're right, Top Cat, 100%. Yes, I've heard that. Caroline Ritchie, mass men just tried to enter a migrant hotel in West London. to exchange. Good point, Facebook. Right, guys, calm down. Shh, 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 shh. It's okay, son. You're okay. Shut up. Come here. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come here. Shh, there's our tulip. I didn't vote to stay in the EU in Scotland. Where did you hear that about? West London. 5 arrests, didn't get in but got onto grounds. So they didn't get into the hotel but they got onto the grounds and there's been 5 people arrested. Thank you so much for that, Caroline Ritchie. Thank you, wee bit bunkers. Stanwell. What hotel is it, guys? If anybody knows the name of the hotel. Majority of Scots did, John. Henderson's took them over, didn't they? Yeah, let's hope so, Galloway. Yes, Annette, that's not a bad idea. Saw that about the hotel in London. Freedom Dad, there's no footage of it in London. At Freedom Dad 73, there's no footage. There probably will be footage coming out. If the boys are there, they would have filmed it. Starmer's putting us back into the EU. Oh, 100%. 100%. Globalists. Worldwide globalists. One law, one rule. One world. No borders. That's what they want. Ireland will be united without doubt, but it's not planned early. We will be a minority on the island. Judgment Day, yeah, well, you know, I don't think there's many scholars out there. Don't predict that, mate. Your dog's just made my day. Cheers, mate. It's a false flag, no footage anywhere. Time to rise, cheers. From Foxy Lad, Bank England notes to see no taxation without expansion, repensation. Kensington. Right, so here we go. Kensington, Philadelphia, Cam, 70 MG Live, TV. Okay. I don't know, hopeful person. It's a bit too much for me, that one. I said 1,000 homeless people should march up to a hotel and demand to be fed. Yeah, that's a good idea. First flight from Stansted, you're welcome to come. Few quid for you. 13/7's first flight from Stanford, you're welcome to come. Few quid for you. Thank you, Jerry Quinn. I appreciate that, mate. But, we'll find a way. It wouldn't shock me if Starmer belongs to the same cult the Epstein did, the cult of Baal. See you later, Billy boy. What do you hope to achieve as the legal and illegal immigration keeps rising despite all this publicity? What we hope to achieve is putting up a resistance, putting up enough awareness of a resistance that the rest of the world can see that this is being forced upon us, and hopefully we get help from somewhere. You know, we have a treacherous government that's destroying our country from within. You know, there's no two ways about it. It's really frightening what's going on, and I think we need to resist it in every way and any way we can. And you know, all we can do is hope to God that we get a government then that's going to re-migrate these people straight back out again. That's all we can hope for. We can sit here and go, okay, you're here. A traitorous government let you in, but don't get comfortable. You're not staying. As soon as we get the right government, then the government that loves this country, protects this country, and protects the people in this country, you're gone. You know, because you've broken illegally, you broke the law. You've been brought in by a government that's treacherous to the people of this country, of the UK and Ireland. The Irish government are exactly the same. There's no two ways about it. Any government that does this to the country, and with the amount of essays and abuse, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of victims, and they still continue to let these people in, is a treacherous government. And there's victims. You know, it's not like it's a victimless crime. We've got victims of the crimes and the blood that Starmer and Mahood and all the rest of them have on their hands, you know. And all we can hope for is one day we get justice for all these children and all these people that's been affected by what this government have done. And one day, hopefully, we get justice from these men, these private schoolboys, millionaires who are playing about and playing Monopoly and playing with world leaders and European leaders with our lives and our future. You know, and it's all there, it's all fact. As we go forward and look back at the past, nobody can manipulate it, nobody can change it. We'll know who's responsible, we'll know why they done it, and they know, and we'll know who was implicit with it all. It'll all be facts, it won't be misinformation, and hopefully we have men with balls that can right the wrongs, you know, in many ways, in every way imaginable. They right the wrongs of what these men and women have done to our country, and right the wrongs of these men and women that came into our country. And that's all we can hope for, guys, you know, and that's what we drive for, that's what we push for. And we have the power of the people to vote these men that we need in, men and women, strong men and women who represent both religions in Northern Ireland, and only want everything to stay the same. We don't want nothing to change. We don't want the Republican murals down. We're not taking the Loyalist murals down. We don't want you to stop the hunger strike, your Easter uprising, and all the rest of it, your bonfires in the Catholic areas. We don't want to stop all bonfires or 12th of July's. We want to protect the Roman Catholic religion, and we want to protect the Methodist, Presbyterian, and the Protestant religion. Simple as that, you know. And anything that threatens it, anything that threatens any of them things, we deal with abruptly and harshly. Simple as that, you know. When it comes to the future of our children, we need to make sure we lay the foundations that they're protected. And we wouldn't be men and women of Ulster or Ireland if we didn't have that goal and that goal only. It's as simple as that. And that's where I'm at. It's plain and simple, logical. There's no messing about. People have come in this country illegally by a tracer's government. They need to go whenever we get the real government in. Simple as that. So I don't know how long that's going to be. I don't know how hard it's going to be by then, you know. All I can say is, personally, I think England's gone too far now for any major changes. That's what I think, you know. But I think Northern Ireland is still in a situation where we can prevent any more harm coming to our island or our children or our grandchildren in the future. I really do, in my heart, believe we can do this, you know. And we've just got to hold our politicians accountable and let our politicians know that we will replace them. We will replace you. If you think you're going to be a private schoolboy and a millionaire and run this country whatever way you think fit, then we will replace you. You know, the people of Northern Ireland, both Protestants and Catholics, will replace Sinn Féin and the DUP, and we will bring a new political party, you know. And any political party that comes out and says they're going to fight for our future and our children's future and our grandchildren's future and put down foundations to protect them going forward from any persecution, from anywhere, then they'll be voted in immediately by the people of Northern Ireland. Simple as that, guys. I know that in my heart. Rose Letson, has anyone heard that Jordanstown University is letting 300 undesirables move in? I haven't heard that, but thank you for that. Freedom Dad, this be the case of policing the streets yourself? No, I don't think so. I think, to be honest with you guys, it is something that needs to be done and started, I think, and different communities are already doing it. And it lays down a deterrent, because then we get the police policing the watchers, you know what I mean? You get the police watching the watchers, you know what I mean? And all these guys are doing is putting a deterrent. They're putting a message out there, letting everybody know that we're here, you know? And it's not just about the community knowing, it's about anybody thinking about doing anything dodgy in the area. Anybody. Doesn't matter what colour you are, what religion you are, there's people out in the streets. From sun going down to early hours of the morning, two different groups taking turns, go out in lots of areas, you know what I mean? And it is a deterrent, and it's working. And now we've got a huge police presence in these areas now as well. So that's all we can do right now is protect, watch, be observant, film. Everybody knows what they're doing now. You see a man hanging about the park, the camera's out, you know? There's no vigilante to ask a man why he's sitting in the park with his phone pointed towards children. That's not vigilante. That's a parent. Please believe me. You know, if these guys were vigilantes, please believe me, there would be some amount of damage being done on the streets of Belfast to some men. You know, these are not vigilantes. You know, nobody around me or nobody concerning me or no Patriots I know have done any damage to anybody or hurt anybody. You know, that's fact. You know, So it is a deterrent. It's not there. They're not being violent. A lot of these groups know the damage that they would do if anything did go wrong. It would be plastered all over the news. Vigilantes do this or vigilantes do that, or anything, any small thing. The papers are waiting. So the guys in Northern Ireland, the men and women going out on the streets in the Woodvale, in Ainsworth Drive, Rathcoole, Bangor, Portadown, and everywhere else, Killylea, everywhere where there's men starting to come together and go out and protect the streets, or it's I can't say nothing else. It's up. They're doing a really good job. They're not violent. They know exactly the optics of how this look. They know that one step out of line, then the newspapers are gonna be loving it. So we're not stupid. Please believe me. This is when I keep telling you, the people in Northern Ireland, the Patriots in Northern Ireland, are very, very aware of what's going on. But yes, there is emotions run very high because we are very passionate men and women. You know what I mean? And we are going to have fallouts and all the rest of it. But the main thing is we stay compact. Nobody goes out on their own. We don't push nobody out. Everybody's compact, and we deal with our problems personally. After the initial whatever, you know what I mean? Because like I say, we're all patriots and you're all involved. You all follow, support a lot of these men, and it's important that you know what's going on, and that's just the way it is, and it's not going to change. You're going to see probably somebody else falling out, and and that's just the way it is. It's life. It's human instinct. We're all different characters, and not everybody sees eye to eye. Right, guys, it's all right. It's okay. Relax. Right, son, calm down. Calm down. Yeah, so one of the problems with the political groups and what's going on and like why it's going to be so hard is because the media are far left. The government are far left. They control the media. They're all friends. They all drink in the same place. They go on the same holidays. They go to the same restaurants. They're all besties. They all went to university together. And some of them probably use the same round boys for all we know. You know what I mean? You just don't know, do you? The things that we've heard, some of the situations, the facts of what some of these guys get up to in their spare time is out there, you know what I mean? And we know why, because of the all boys private school and all that. So there's an understanding of why the world is the way it is. The problem we have is that we don't get any media. The media will not back a right-wing political party. You know what I mean? You'll never see any of these men in England, who most of the British people are wanting to vote and wanting to get them up in the parliament. They're not getting any airtime. They've got to work twice as hard on YouTube, X, TikTok, and other platforms. So it's a very unbalanced playing field politically to start off with. And it's just simply because these Brits boys, these private school boys, have been doing this for a long time, and they've set a structure up in government that protects them. They have the far left in social work, they have the far left in universities, they have the far left in the Home Office, they have the far left as judges, they have the far left as lawyers. It's the far left ideology of everybody who plays a part in our country that can affect us as civilians, and it's done really, really well. So it's something that we need to address. Like, it's something that needs to be spoke about. We need to understand of what these governments have done to our nation. We've got to talk about it. We've got to get it out in the open. We've got to analyse the universities. We've got to analyse what our teachers are teaching our children. We've got to analyse the social work department, properly. We've got to see who's benefiting from housing, who's benefiting from mental health, who's benefiting from the NHS, because they're all implicit. They're all far left. When it comes to a patriot, it comes to a far left. That far lefter will always get in before you. That. Come on, move. Come on, boy. Come on, son. What would I call it? That minority is going to get that place before you because of the way the system's set up, Not only are they scared to say no because of the racist element, the bigotry element, or it's because I'm a Muslim, or it's because I'm black. Because of that scare factor, then they get straight through. There's no question. They'll get the job before you do. They'll get PIP before you do. They'll get social benefits before you do. They'll get they'll get a council house before you do. They'll see a doctor before you do. They'll get a dentist before you do. And that's facts. That's not misinformation. You know, we can see it over and over again. There's even jobs being advertised for only minorities. Do not apply if you're a British white person. That's fact, you know, and that's going to the top. That's going to the Home Office. That's going to our intelligence service. That's going to MI5. These are the people at the very top who are saying we only want ethnic minorities. We're only going to employ. Don't apply if you're a British person or a white British person. And if that's what the Home Office are doing, if that's what the MI5 and the intelligence service are doing, so why wouldn't the hairdressers get away with it? Why wouldn't the butchers get away with it? Why wouldn't the big factory in Amazon get away with it? Do you understand? So there's a lot that's going on with everything that we're dealing with, not just the essays, but for our social life, living as human beings, the equality of every man having the same chance of a job, going on qualifications and experience, you know. Too many stories out there of men who are qualified, like without doubt qualified for the job, having to pushed away where somebody with a lot less experience getting the job simply because of the colour of their skin or their background, you know. And that's not fair. That's against our human rights in many, many ways. But what can we do about it? We've got to take it. Just like mass immigration, we've got to take it. Just like them hundreds of thousands of victims because of mass immigration, we've got to take it. You complain about it, you're a racist. If you complain about any of it, you're far right, you know. And the message is constant, far right racist. I get it all the time. Every day I get maybe 10 comments, far right racist. That's it, you know. They watch the video, they watch 2 minutes of the video and they go, far right racist. He's talking about immigration, he's a racist. You know, that's what we're up against. With everything else that we're up against, with the police and even the court system. You imagine what happens to us when we go court. You know, we get found guilty. You know what I mean? They throw the book at us. I've always had the book thrown at me. You know, I got 3 years when I was 16. 16 years old with 3 year. And then 18 years old, I got 6 year. You know what I mean? And then I got 18 year. You know what I mean? And it's the biggest sentence ever given out for a bank robbery in the whole of Britain. You know what I mean? Where there was no shots fired. You know, so yeah, they don't miss us for some reason. You know, we're not the flavour of the month when it comes to the establishment. For some reason, the Protestant Unionist Loyalist community are not the flavour of the month. And as you see with NECAP, hate fucking saying their name, as you see with the pandering of the socialists, the far left, our government, you know, who love NECAP, you know what I mean? They love that far left ideology, and they pander to it. The media pander to it, you know, they don't get slaughtered. I mean, we're just shouting, you know, we're just shouting end mass immigration and we get slaughtered on the news. They dig up every single bit of detail, you know. There's lots of stuff that we know about this band. Lots of stuff about people who we know who's behind this band. But I can't say it because they would just try and sue me because I don't have the receipts. But we as Belfast men know, just as we know as Belfast, that Jerry Adams was the commander of the IRA back in the day. You know, everybody knows that as fact. But we don't have the receipts. He says he isn't. I says he is. You know, it is one of them ones. Same in ECAP. We don't have the receipts, but we know who they are. We know who's behind them. We know who's pushing them. We know what the rhetoric is. And yeah, it is what it is. A lot of people are working against the Patriots in Northern Ireland. A lot of people are working against the unionism of Northern Ireland. And yeah, NECAP are part of that system that are trying to bring down the union in Northern Ireland. The unionists, you know, pushing for an All Ireland and all that. And it's just it's just a play. They're just puppets from this far left government. You know, Labour would love to get rid of the 6 counties and just hand them straight to the Ireland and say nothing to do with us. You know, they would love to do that, but they know that the damage it would do to the countries. You know, it worries me in the future that, you know, when we're not as strong and our children aren't as brave, and, you know what I mean, they haven't been through what we've been through, and, you know, they think, what's the point, you know what I mean, and murals started getting taken down and our children don't, or our grandchildren don't have the fight, you know. I suppose that's up to them at the time, you know what I mean, but, you know, you can see how difficult it would be for them anyway if we were struggling with what's going on. God help our children, you know, because we're strong. We've been through the troubles, guys. We've been through it, you know what I mean? Both sides, so we're strong individuals. So, yeah, it worries me. It worries me. You know, it's all tactics from the left. It's all tactics from the establishment. It's to try and destroy our traditions. We're getting it from all directions, guys. You know, we really are. CJ Otis says he's bringing me round a bottle of Bushmills whiskey tonight. Where is CJ? Yeah, I'm going to get a wee coffee in a minute. Let me see you up. Who's that? It's okay. It was just that. It was just that. I know. I love you too. I love you too. Oh, you're sitting up now. Come here. Look, they want to see you. You've been a big. You've got fans on here. You have fans on here, missus. Yeah, you're as famous as I am, Tube. Yeah. Where are you going for your toy? Where's your toy? Where's your toy? Where's your toy? Go and get your toy. Where is it? Go on. Get it then. She is. Miniature pug. What do you want? Hmm? What do you want? King Billy had a pug. Yeah, that's my mates. Don't know where they got it from. Morning. Hopeful person, but most of us are the same from socio-economic backgrounds. No, they don't. Being just left wing, Fabian Society, mainstream media rhetoric. Yeah, Fabian Society, that's worth looking into. It's a bit much for me, guys, to be honest with you, like, but it is. If voted in United Ireland as healthy care no longer free here, I guess it's going private already though. The Shinners have a pug too. She runs their party in the north. We can, Annette. We can. We are going in that direction. All being loyal to the province. Cheers, the King of Belfast. So, what have we got here? I'm going to have a wee coffee in a minute, guys. 72. 72 in the chat. What's going on? Are you all on the CJ's platform? Or is it just playing up again? 72 is good, guys. We aren't talking about nothing major. So, any more news on the hotel, guys? A United Ireland would obviously have to include new guarantees and assurance for all. 110%, you know what I mean? Still here, right to be right. Good man, thank you. 72 Patriots better than standing alone. Yes, 100%, mate. Fucking I'm off to CJ's. I don't mind, honestly, guys. I'm not here for the numbers. I've never been here for the numbers. It scares me. The numbers scare me, like, to be honest with you. You know, I know a lot of people go on about me for not shouting, like hit the like and subscribe and all that. So I have started doing that. You know what I mean? Love my dog. Sadly passed away. Big German Shepherd. I've lost some amazing dogs in my day. I know you're only joking, mate. Chill up, Bolt. 109, 99. I'm gonna go and make a coffee, guys. I'm not gonna annoy anybody. I make me my coffee. CJ's in the room. 94 here, 30 PSNI watching. Oh, there's definitely 100%. I'm not being big-headed, you know what I mean? You know, at the end of the day, the left like to know what's going on the right, and I give a lot of information out, and I know I do, you know, and that's how transparent we are, and that's why we do it. You know what I mean? I think whenever you're being called a racist and far right and all that, and you're getting so much flack from the media, the only way to sort that out is being on a platform so you can explain things to people and you can let people understand what's going on. And I think it's important. I want more and more people to do this. I want communities. I want us all to have like where we're all on, you know, like Stevie, you know, all the big names, Lindsay, all on together, talking about something, answering your questions. That all is definitely coming. I promise you guys. CJ, you know what I mean? Hopefully get a wee night with just me and CJ, 2 boxes. I'll be able to bring stuff up. CJ's talking about stuff. I'll be able to bring it up and show you, you know, clips of stuff and all that. We'll maybe sit down, have a wee night where we do a CJ night where I sit and just bring up all his videos and we can prep it before we do it. We can do loads of stuff. A lot of work, you know what I mean? But when we get to that stage, you know, hopefully it'll just run a lot easier. So things will definitely change, you know what I mean? Going into the winter, things will change. I'd love a coffee, mate. Can you put the milk in first? Yeah, a wee bit of milk first. Not too much coffee. And just a big sugar, sugar, not too sweet, mate. Just one sugar, if you can. Cheers, buddy. Get looked after, so do I get looked after, like. PS and I have a social media department. They're too quick knocking doors over. I love baking posts. All the judges in Northern Ireland are provies because of the 70s and 80s. All Republicans had was education and news, had was jobs. Even in the jails, the loyalists lifted weights. The provies ran law classes. Well, I have to say that's not exactly true. You know what I mean? You know, there was a lot of education when I was in there. You know what I mean? Maybe not the education that you would get in university, but you know, in the University of the Maze, Luncash, you know, it was you learned stuff. You learned stuff. You know what I mean? Freedom that a true patriot protect our children. And before my time, I know they were definitely, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say too much, but they were definitely studying. You know, I know the command structure in there. I remember when we were in, guys that had been in for a wee while used to talk about what it used to be like and how strict it used to be, you know what I mean? And how easy we've got it, you know. So yeah, there was a lot of learning done, guys, on our side, to be honest with you. But I know what you're saying. I definitely get you what you're saying. Yeah, they did. They were a lot more political. Freedom Dad, everyone starts somewhere. Two of us here sitting watching you, so add another one. Cheers, thank you. Sandy Row Egg Team. Yeah, I know. So what they're talking about there is the Palestinians were doing a demo, and the Sandy Row boys came and egged them. I tend to agree with you there, Galloway Raider. Thank you, Wee Bit Bunkers. Fixing true big bass boom. Hi, Freedom Dad and everyone. I hope all is well. Yeah, everything's good, mate. I've been trying to think how haircut the same, Freedom Dad. I've been trying to think who had a haircut the same as Freedom Dad 73, Stephen Gerrard. Fuck, I'll take that. I'm a fan of Stephen Gerrard. Like, Billy has no context, just keyboard slobbering. Hopeful person. 32 and 88 in milliseconds. I know it's a bit strange, isn't it? Very strange, you know, but listen, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is, guys. We're still here. That's the main thing. Mind your step. I always mind my step. And what direction. My hurt Jared could be the New Jersey manager tomorrow evening, LOL. That would be nice. Thank you very much. Let me do the taste test. Perfect. Who are you watching?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, he's got the clown magnet. He has a clown magnet, And see when he switches us on, I swear to God, he switches this clown magnet on, and they just come like zombies, one after the other, and it's just content after content. He has that. He just has that face. You know what I mean? He has a face for content. Bean, was Freedom Dad in the Maze prison? I thought that was for political prisoners only. Well, we were called political prisoners, yeah. I was a political prisoner. I wouldn't have been in prison if I wasn't brought up in Belfast, would I? You know what I mean? So yeah. Many years ago, guys. Many years ago. For our other community on tonight, that won't happen very often because this is my flag. Fair play to you, mate. So what you're doing there, Tolerance, is Brixton Don't Sleep, which is the name of a video, and the channel is called Inside Most Dangerous Place, or is it Brixton Don't Sleep is the name of the channel, and the name of the video is Inside Most Dangerous Place Midnight Ringo version, YouTube. Okay, guys, if you just want to get on that. For those going on the 13th, Tommy has just done an update video 20 minutes ago. Urgent info, Mustard Point, yeah, yep. Mustard Point, yep. Yeah. I love watching the Denmark on the Maze, especially when they broke out. Yeah, I met Jerry Kelly. I talk about that. Yes, you know, I met him when he got brought back from Holland. Thank you, Rob McDonough. Israel has just wiped out Gaza and Yemen. Oh, that's why we've got very low numbers. I've got some videos to catch up on. I've got CJs to watch. Patriots United. 97, I see Joe, Billy Blogs. Support. CJ, you support genocide? He doesn't support genocide. Calm down, you profile. Right, we don't do, right, listen, I take the piss out of the Palestinians because they fucking are mental, okay? The people who support Palestine and Northern Ireland are mental. Half of them are mental, half of them are fucking ideologies are fucking off the scale, still reprovals from back in the day, dissidents, whatever you want to call them, kids who were born after the Troubles that want a wee bit of the Troubles, you know what I mean, because they heard the stories. They're nuts. But that's it. You know what I mean? If the Israelis were protesting and they behaved like that, they would be on my videos. It doesn't make a difference who you are. You behave like a header, you're getting recorded. You know what I mean? We do not support genocide. We do not support starving. We do not support people being bombed. Of course we don't. We're human beings. But the thing is, there's nothing me and CJ can do about it, okay? There's nothing anybody can do about it. There's nothing that these guys banging pots outside hotels can do about it. It's a waste of fucking energy, a waste of time. All we can do is report on what's going on. And, you know, at the end of the day, we tell both sides of the story. And sometimes you guys on the Palestinian side don't like the Israeli side of the story. And that's a problem, you know. As us, we tell both sides of the stories. We tell the facts. We don't give out misinformation. We see what we see and we give our opinion on it, you know. And a lot of people don't like that opinion. They don't like us talking about October the 7th. They don't like us talking about starving hostages. They don't like us talking about the crimes that were committed on October the 7th and the crimes to the hostages after they were brought back to Israel, back to Gaza. And they don't like us talking about everybody clapping and cheering as they brought them hostages back, you know? And that's a problem, you know what I mean? Because we talk about everything. We don't just talk about how Israel is reacting to that situation and how brutal and abrupt they are with the Gazians, but we do know as well that they have given people plenty of chances to get out of there. There is corridors for them to get away and be whatever, go wherever. And like, if they're going to stay there and take what's coming, there's nothing anybody can do to stop that. There's nothing anybody can do. If a mother and a father are going to keep their family of 6 children in a place that's being bombed, in a place where the Israelis are dropping leaflets and telling them, they send in a bomb before they send in the big bomb to let them know what's coming, you know. And, you know, at the end of the day, they've got precise bombs that they can put through windows. You know, we know this. They're not indiscriminately wanting, targeting children, but casualties of war. You know what I mean? These guys, these Palestinians know how much danger they're in. They know what's coming. They're jihadis. They're extremists. They're wanting to be martyred. You know, calm down. It's not like they're being blocked in and they're being forced to die in an area where they're just being bombed and there's nothing. You know, that's nonsense. They've got a chance to get out. We all know that. You know, there's nobody starving. There's more fucking aid going into Gaza than there is coming into Britain right now. For our homeless, you know what I mean? There's more of our homeless guys and people and vulnerable people in our country suffering more than the people of Gaza. And I know people won't like that, but that's the facts. Shitloads of food's been dropped. Shitloads of food's went in. You know, whatever happens to the food, nobody knows. You know, but looking at the photos coming out of Gaza of the terrorists, they're looking pretty plump to me. There's no skin and bones running about with machine guns, guys. Okay, so let's point the finger in the right direction and stop pointing the finger at Patriots or just trying to highlight this fucking logical fucking sense. The logical of it all. It's too one-sided. You know, for some reason the BBC and the Irish government and our government are just like the Russia-Ukraine fucking war are bullshitting the life right out of us for some fucking reason. And these Palestinians are going, I've seen it on TV. I'm like, where are you getting your information from? I've seen it on TV, the BBC. You know, and that's their argument. Their argument is I don't know what I'm talking about because they've seen it in the BBC, so it must be true. That's what I'm up against at these demos. That's where they get their information from. You know, and you know why? Because it suits their rhetoric. They don't want to get information from other sources that might question what they're doing. They don't want any of that. No. What do you mean they've got food? No, they're starving. What do you mean? What do you mean that there's humanitarian corridors for them to get out? No, it's a prison. It's an open air prison. You understand? So it doesn't suit their rhetoric of them standing there banging their pans. You know what I mean? Like The Walking Dead and just shouting obscenities at anybody who doesn't agree with them. That's what they want. That's their game. There's nothing anybody can do about it. But that's the facts. That's the logical of it all. It's a lot of hatred of IRA men, dissidents, Republicans, and a load of headers from the left that don't know any better and just like to bang pans and make a load of noise and call anybody that disagrees with them far-right racist thugs. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. Fucking, I'm telling you, like, you go there and you'll see it yourself. And like I say, you don't need to talk like that to be a supporter of Israel or a supporter of anybody. You're reporting on what you see. You're telling people the truth. You're telling people this is the facts, you know. And then people don't like that. Or people disagree. You say you're a Zionist. I'm like, fucking hell, man. I had to Google Zionist the other day. I used to. Shut up. It's okay. You know, they're throwing stuff at me I don't even understand. You know what I mean? They're asking me questions about 1929 and all that. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know? But yeah, it is what it is. I know some people don't agree, and some of you down here might be thinking, Freedom Dad, you know, you're wrong or whatever. But yeah, that's your opinion. You know, I don't mind you disagreeing with me. Yeah, no, Rob McDonough, but Donna, this is the problem. I know the majority of the Irish. I've been there. I've been fucking given so much love. An ex-loyalist prisoner went down openly as an ex-loyalist prisoner from Belfast. I'm here as a patriot and goes, this is who I am. And they were like, we don't care. Thank you for coming up and supporting us. And that's everybody. I stood in the lamppost and watched 50,000 Irishmen walk by, and you do not know how much love I got from them men and women. Not everybody recognised me, but there was enough love. There was enough love. You know what I mean? And you know, obviously everything went wrong when I done a speech outside the post office. You know, that wasn't the fucking brightest thing to do in my small YouTube career. But yeah, hindsight and all the rest of it. But yeah, no, a lot of love, a lot of respect. There's no hatred. There's no care about fucking United Ireland and all that. Fucking, they don't care about the post office and the Easter uprising and nothing. They're not interested in nothing like that. It's like fucking anything any more than fucking 15 years ago. Forget about it. No interested. And that's the general consensus. But the problem that we have is, like, as always, a small hardcore of extremists. And people are scared to speak out for want of being targeted by the extremists. And I've seen the extremists in action. They've been in action against politicians who have supported Freedom Dad, and they've went against them, and they've forced them, you know, to put a divide. And that's what they do. They want to divide us. They want to keep that divide. They don't want Freedom Dad coming up there and being loved by their own men and women, their own Irish people who are meant to support them, but yet they support Freedom Dad, and that's so confusing and so must be so hard for them to understand that these are the freedom fighters of Ireland, and they're actually having to threaten their own people to stop them giving me love, and that's where we're at with that. And it just shows me, if you knew my comments or my messages, if I wouldn't share messages, a lot of private messages from a lot of people, ex-Republicans, ex-IRA men, people from the Falls, Davis, everywhere, fucking Bogside, everywhere, across my glen, all genuine, heartfelt messages of support, of they know exactly what's coming, they know exactly what these men are doing to their communities, and they just want to give me a bit of love because I'm the only person speaking up about it. And when I read them comments, I know exactly what's going on in this country. You need to be doing this to understand. You need to be getting all these messages from all around Northern Ireland to understand the true feeling of the people of the two divided parts of this island, And it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. All I can do is keep going forward, keep showing love and support to the Irish people, make sure my platform's inclusive to everybody, make sure everybody around me is inclusive to everybody, make sure we're all on the same page. There's no religion and patriotism. Protestants and Catholics will never be divided in anything Freedom Dad's doing. We will come together as brothers, as Christians, and we will never ever see a difference ever again going forward. And in my heart, I don't believe the way Ireland's behaved towards their own people. I don't think the Catholics in Northern Ireland, would go against us in any way, especially at this time when we're the only ones fighting for their children because they're not able to. I don't think we'll ever forget the stance that us Protestant Unionist Loyalist community have taken at this moment and in this hour of need. We have taken a stance where we're opening our arms to fellow patriots in the Catholic communities. And I hope that gesture one day they will remember and return that favour when it comes to our children and our grandchildren going forward. And that's the human kindness that I hope to see that we're giving out coming back to us. And like I say, the only thing stopping us right now is the Republicans. It's not the loyalist community. No loyalist parliaments, you know what I mean? There's nobody threatening me for speaking to Catholics or welcoming Catholics. Nobody's wanting to shoot me for bringing Michelle Keane, a Republican politician, into loyalist areas. So you can see there's only one group causing us problems, guys, and that's the Republicans. That's the dissidents. It's the hatefulness of a divide from a conflict from many years ago that they will not leave. The hate for the British, just like kneecap the band, Brits out. They want me out of my country, but they want the Palestinians and the Gazanians and Islam to come. They want us out, and they want foreigners in to replace us. And they're quite happily selling their children and their grandchildren in the river, and their cultures and their traditions. They're quite happy doing that. As long as the price is the destruction of Ulster and the loss of the Union. And that's fucking 110%. I'll stand by them words as long as I'm alive. All right, Wade, good to see you, mate. Good to see you still at the gym. Been a bit of a rocky ride for you. Good to see the court cases out of the way, mate. That's it, all done and dusted. Another Patriot man gets through the finish line. Well done, son. Proud of you. You held your ground. You kept it tight, and you took it all the way. And that's what we do in Northern Ireland. You know what I mean? And I've always had faith in you, my bro. And I'm just glad to see that the relief was off the family as well. Sinn Féin lied to each and every Catholic in this country, north and south, and the whole lie is coming home to roost for Sinn Féin. Yeah, I'm seeing some crazy videos, guys. I'm definitely going to try and find this video and bring it to you. It's Niall Niall Connolly, fucking that many now. I've got O'Connell, Connolly, and McConnell. You know what I mean? Sinn Féin are 100% traitors down south. They no longer have patriotic vote. No, they don't. Dissidents need a page every couple of weeks, otherwise they become totally irrelevant. Yep. That's what is odd to me. Kneecap against Brits, but pro-immigration makes no sense to me. Yes, very strange. Very strange. But we'll, as we go forward, they'll be caught out. You know, the people will see. When it comes to voting, we'll see, guys. You know. 54 in the chat. No problem, mate. No problem, mate. Yeah, so this is a calm before the storm. Oh, I do believe. I do believe, you know. Got a couple of phone calls to make tonight. And yeah, hopefully bring you some good content tomorrow. We'll be rolling live as always. And, you know, we'll see what goes down. I'm going to say where I'm going or what we're up to. We will just turn up. Sinn Féin was the most anti-EU 15 years ago during Lisbon Treaty. To now, most pro-EU money talks. I was going to say that before. See when you put money talks? I was going to say the money talk. Yeah, I was going to say exactly what you said. Like, if you are registered to vote, folks, get out. Vote. Every bit counts. Yeah, we'll be pushing up when the time comes to vote. We will be pushing politically when the time comes. We will be pushing as hard as we can. We will be working. If you think I'm working hard now, what do you see when it comes to vote? When I find the right politicians that I want our people to get on, I'm going to get right behind them. And I'm going to make sure as many people get out and vote as possible. And, you know, there's still a lot of work to be done as far as the registering as a voter can cause people problems here and debt, and they don't want to go onto the voting register because people can then find out where they live and all the rest of it. And we got to recognise that, because if it comes to voting, we've got to make sure everybody is able to vote, no matter what reason they have for not voting. We need to make sure we get rid of that reason and make sure there's a clear road for every single man and woman in this country to vote. Sinn Féin are the most anti-Irish party in Ireland, pro-abortion and pro-migrant, fly all the colour revolution flags and have forgotten their own. Yeah. Always follow the money. Yeah, correct, mate. There is no party. They are all owned by globalists. I understand. But we're working on it. We are working on it. It's down to the people. It's down to the people. There's a big mountain to climb, guys. Down to 20. Down to 20 people. Yeah, that's not me, Shifty Sam. So it isn't, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say. But I will find a better freedom, Dad. I promise. I promise you. I'm still here. It's professional victimhood. Yes, Bob, at Speaker's Corner is good. And young Bob. It's gone up and down all through the stream. It's very strange, isn't it? Never mind the destruction of Ulster. What about the destruction of both the Irish Republic as well as Ulster? It's not just certain Republican elements, but also those who promote the LGBTQ agenda. Yeah, without a doubt. You know what I mean? Of course. I do, you know, I'm not anti-gay or anything like that. I am anti everything else that comes along with the pushing of it into schools, reading stories to kids in libraries, puberty blockers, kids at a very young age making decisions that they shouldn't be making, parents creating designer children. Yeah, there's a lot of things that need to be addressed. An awful lot of things that need to be addressed. The Pride Week, you know, that needs to be addressed. You know what I mean? You know, there is a very small minority in the community, but yet so much space and time is given to them. And that's not fair on us again, you know, because no matter, you can't force these things into our society. If some people aren't happy with seeing two men walking down the street half naked, holding hands and kissing, then you've got to respect them peoples. Whenever did we just bypass the wishes and the feelings of people who are not used to this kind of thing and just push it straight into their face even harder? You know, and like I say, I'm very skeptical about it all. I think it's getting done for a reason. I think the LGBTQ and plus has done more damage to the gay homosexual community than anybody. You know, I think the rise in hate crimes towards gays is doubled, maybe even trebled, because of the way it's being pushed into our societies and being pushed into our schools and the rest, you know. So it hasn't been handled very well. As for 107, I see that, man. It's nuts in it. It hasn't been handled very well, and I think it's done the homosexual community, gay community, whatever you want to call them, more damage than good, you know. And it's like anything, you can't force stuff onto people. You just, people dig their heels in, you know. Little Englander, good to see. Onward Christian soldiers, Republicans and loyalists are coming together. This is a glorious time. No surrender, guys. Yeah, we but not quite there just yet. Yeah, we young Bob's good, guys. Young Bob is a rising star. A rising star. Yes, they will, Philip. Well, 110%. Nothing and nobody is going to stop that. You know, I can tell you that now for nothing. And I do believe it will be the Patriot movement that will do it. I do believe it will be it'll be a Patriot movement or a Patriot political party that will actually bring all the Protestants and Catholics together. You know, we just need the right men and women. That's all. I just discovered a guy called Thomas Sheridan. His take on events is eye-opening. Where you get to the point, Ulster Loyalist groups will issue reform a warning. Will you get to the point, Ulster Loyalist groups will issue reform a warning? No, I don't think we need to warn reform. We're not threatened by reform, you know what I mean? That's what I think, you know what I mean? I think things will change dramatically in Northern Ireland very, very soon. I really do. I would love to bring your young Bob home and just be his mummy. Yeah, I would like to get him over for a demo. I've been throwing that idea about with Tommy's, because Tommy's demo's coming up in 2 weeks, you know what I mean, we have them put off. But has Freedom Dad, the Citizen Journal, is going to dip his toe in a protest and organise a demo and bring YouTubers and speakers from the mainland to Northern Ireland to explain and talk about what's going on in mainland and give us an idea of how long we've got left, and you know, just so you're not hearing it from people in Northern Ireland. You know, you need to hear it from people that's lived it, people that's experiencing it, and we'll probably find a lot more out from them than you will from me or anybody that speaks in Northern Ireland. So it's just an idea that I've got that we're throwing about at the minute, you know what I mean, has Patriots, you know, and hopefully maybe after the Tommy Robinson, maybe in October, we'll maybe have something up and going. And this particular demo is going to be different than every other demo. This is going to be the biggest demo you'll ever seen in Northern Ireland, you know. And yeah, I do 100%, you know. Once we get the right people coming to speak to us, I know our people will come out to listen. Simple as that, you know. And we'll push it, we'll promote it, we'll do what we need. We'll make sure it gets to every corner of Northern Ireland that people know that this demo is happening. Thomas Maguire, no one is stopping us, Freedom Dad. Half of them are sleeping, the other half is on drugs. Cheers, Callie. Freedom Dad, you're one of the key players in uniting Catholics and Protestants. It's so important. There's many like me, guys. There's many people. There's people who've been doing it a lot longer than me. I've only been here a year doing this, you know. I don't think Labour Care, they will have all got their pensions from being MPs. Money talks, guys. Thank you, Philip. I really appreciate the kind words. You got a lighter? Do you get a light? Is that reading that one? Huh? Not at all, not even a wee jail one. You want to jump up and get a lighter, mate? Please. Where did 528 go? Living in London, he has 3 sons and worried. They shouldn't be getting a wage, never mind a pension. And all the extras that they get. It's not fair, is it? These guys are on top money for destroying our country. You know. God knows what these men at the top have got on them. God knows what they've got on Stormer. Can you imagine? Could you imagine how he's compromised? No amount of money would make me a traitor to my country. Nah, many coffees you take a day, Freedom Dad? About three. About three. I normally drink tea. It's just when I'm on a live, I drink a wee coffee, and it's just, it doesn't really affect me. I never get anything off coffee. But it's just in the head, you know what I mean? It was in chat the other day. Yeah, I'm not a big coffee drinker, guys. I like a cup of tea. I enjoy a cup of tea. But I drink water. I try and drink as much water as possible. They sold their souls to the devil, Stormers, communist, and it always has been, yeah, correct. And what have they got on the king? Fuck, I know, man. Jeez, oh. Jeez, oh, he's a very scrupulous person. You know what I mean? You wouldn't leave your kids with him, like. Unfortunately, that's the way the world is right now. But yeah, very good point. You need to forget about Westminster and concentrate on Ireland. It's not as easy as that, Judgment Day. Your drinking habits are questionable, Freedom Dad. Water? You know I'm not a big drinker. You know what I mean? This could be what they have on the disgrace of the king. Yeah, probably. Hi there, Freedom Dad. Hi, John Platt. And then mods, chats. Tea is my drink of choice, but Freedom Dad, good to see you, man. Thank you, mate. Islam, I'm not reading that out. Who asked for this? None of me, not me. Or anybody around me asked for it. Annette, is it Annette? Annette. Tulip. You got a toy? She likes her toys. So yeah, guys, 120 minutes, 2 hours. That's no bad. No bad. It always goes really quick. I don't have Freddie reading out any other comments that I've missed. Are you going on the 13th, Freedom? All the lads asking. Yeah, more than likely, guys. More massacres of Christians in Nigeria. I know, not a word from those. Yes, I know, mate. I know. It breaks my heart what's going on around the world to Christians and how our government is so silent and how our government are saying Islam is a religion of peace when they're slaughtering Christians all around the world. They slaughtered Druze in Syria. It's just horrific. And it's horrific the type of crimes that they're carrying out on human beings. Honestly, guys, it is. And I swear on my mother's grave, I've never heard in my life the horrors of war, if you want to call it war. It's terrorism, it's not war. But it has been no war, the First, Second World War, the Gulf War, the Falklands War. You know, you need to go right back into medieval times to find horrific ways of unaliving people that these Islamic terrorists find. Even going right back to the Gulf War, and when ISIS were Syria and Iraq, and what they were doing to the Kurds and other Muslims, you know what I mean? The Sunni against the Shia, and you know what I mean? Horrific, absolutely horrific what they done. Cheers, Annette. I haven't seen Talger for a while. I need to send him a message. He's fucking, like I say, I've changed phones, so it's a new number. So all new, you know what I mean? And I've sent him the number. Like, those guys in Belfast say they are humanitarians. Are they only humanitarians for Gaza? Yes, they are indeed, Emerald 90. The only way forward is to get millions on the streets peacefully. Yeah, that'll probably happen. That will probably happen eventually. Right, wee bit bunkers, you take care. I'm going to wrap it up shortly, guys. Tulip! Honestly, boy, why do you take that? You know what I mean? Stormer is John Platt. Stormer has died in the wood. Communist, socialist, globalist, puppet, EU, WF, and BlackRock are the people giving him his orders. Makes you think what Larry Fink was at number 10 at the start of this Stormer. Yeah, that's worrying. Larry Fink and Bill Gates were one of the first people to meet Stormer. I must have a boot in the balls as that for you guys. Before any world leaders, they brought them two clowns into it. You know what I mean? The fucking, you know, this is the problem. We have people who are multi-millionaires, billionaires, multi-billionaires who don't know how to live in the street. You wouldn't give them 2 minutes of your time. They just don't know how to interact with human beings, and they find themselves in a position where they can make changes to the world, and they're just fucking about with everybody's legs right now because they can, you know. Real men would make real choices and would, you know, make proper decisions. They wouldn't be sneaky. All the stuff that they bring out, all the stuff about COVID and all the rest of it, the 5Gs, everything, you know, everything needs to be questioned nowadays. Yeah, there's Raccoon, there's an injunction on that, so nobody can, the papers can't say nothing. He's took an injunction out, guys, with the Rent Boys or whoever they were. Obama as well made an unexpected visit to down the street. Yeah, so like I say, guys, this is going to go down in history. You got to understand when it's happening. See when it's happening. See when you're in the moment of the madness of what happened when Labour got in, then Southport and all the rest of it, and the infringements on our freedom of speech. When all that's happening, you've got Larry Fink coming in, you've got Obama, you know, you got everything, the madness, the lies, the waspy women, the farmers, the old people, the winter fuel payments. It's all it's overwhelming. So nobody really concentrates or can understand exactly what's going on. But as I say, when we go forward and it's stuck in the past, we can examine it. We can take our time. We can take a breath. When everything's calmed down, we can look at the past and analyse it. And it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. And it's going to be a roadmap. It's going to be a roadmap for every civilian in Great Britain and Ireland going forward for hundreds of years of what went wrong and who was responsible. Please believe me. I know you are thinking, you are downhearted and you think there's nothing we can do and the government are in charge. But please believe me, our people will know going forward who's done what, you know. And like you always say, you're either on the right side or the wrong side of history, you know. Yeah, you're right there, Galloway. Right, my battery's going to go. 10% battery. Got a battery packer, but need to go, guys. Need to get some need. So you want to say goodnight? Night, Freedom Dad. Night, Galloway. If you want to say goodnight to each other, we'll do a wee Waltons. There's only, it says 19. So there you go. We can do what we can and part praying for God's divine. Yep. Right. All thanks can to go. Big Bass Boom, Space Cadet, Shifty Sam. Thank you so much for popping in. Right to be right. Ayrshire Check. Amarie. MNH is Amarie. Galloway Raider. Bob Dub, John Platt, and not decided by the awful Labour government. I'm just more determined. Good. Bean, Vixen, Darfa Finn, BG, 55, John Rankin, thanks for staying in, mate, for the 2 hours. Don Carter, and thanks for Sophie for popping in as well. Seeing you popped in as well. Dirty Carters, night all. Keep the dove flying. Says I got 9 people in. But yeah, it is what it is. God knows what's coming, guys. I really am a bit cautious right now. But yeah, all good. We aren't gonna budge an inch, and no inch will be given. No quarter given, no quarter asked for, guys. That's the Patriots in Northern Ireland. I'll leave you with that. Good night, everybody. Good night, Phil. Gary Belfast, John Connor. thank you all for popping in, and I'll see you tomorrow. I will be live tomorrow. You will get a wee message and an email. If you bought me a coffee, you will get an email, probably 10, 15 minutes, or maybe just say I'm going live right now. So yeah, be on your toes tomorrow, guys. Not going to give any times out, but it won't be late, and we'll leave it at that. Wish me luck, and hopefully you get some good content tomorrow. Maybe get some good interviews. You never know. You never know. So as always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, drink plenty of water, and look after yourselves. I'm Freedom Dad. God bless.